Hi everyone, this is Mr. Muhammad Asif, and you are watching my YouTube channel. In this video, very important things always updating you, and regarding your old questions, you always asking your gemstones and identification of gemstones, and meteorites, different kind of things that we always discuss in our YouTube channel. So one of the main thing that very controversial and people always getting confused, that is ruby and red garnet difference. Many people when showing videos of ruby and the garnet, they always try to ask what basically the stone is, the identification of the stone. So that thing always very confusing for you, and you can't understand what is the reality basically. And you, when you're going to purchase a ruby stone is a very expensive stone and a different price comparatively red garnet. And garnet is a variety of gemstone that has different colors, but if red color or the rhodolite garnet that is a little bit brownish color, if you have in front of you and you are confused because anyone can sell you as ruby. So how you can differentiate the ruby? There are three things that very important you always keep in mind, and you will recognize your stone that is a rare ruby or the garnet is, because many things are confusable because many stones are in red color. So one of them is the garnet, very similar to ruby stone. So number one that very important is the variety. You know, there are two categories of gemstones: precious and semi-precious. So precious one is is you can say that is very expensive stones, and there are only four stones in a category, and that is a different topic. And I will tell you later on in the video that four stones, and accordingly the main story of these stones. But precious stones, remember this thing always when you're going to purchase your rubies or your garnets. So precious stones is a different thing, and ruby is the precious stone. And second, the red garnet or the rhodolite garnet is the semi-precious stones, or any color of garnet is basically belong to the semi-precious stones. And semi-precious stones always, not having such prices comparatively the precious stones. So number one category that we always keep in mind, the category is when your ruby is you have that should be precious stone, and that is actually precious stone. And the next thing is hardness. Very important thing is in any gemstone when you want to identify your gemstone, that is very important thing is hardness. And how you can get now the hardness. And ruby is the most expensive and most tough stone after diamond. Diamond is having the 10 Mohor scale, and ruby is the very next one, ruby, sapphire, and corundum. These three stones belonging to the corundum family. And as you know, the rubies, red ruby, always have the red color, but maybe hues can different. Hues can different, but the basic color is red. If something is red color and having 9 Mohor scale hardness, that should be a ruby. So if you talk about the semi-precious stone that is garnet, maybe red or red garnet or the rhodolite garnet, they are very similar to each other, but little color tone is different. If the color tone is different, maybe you will be confused, and maybe you're going to purchase ruby, but someone giving you the garnet and you're purchasing that, you're paying for the ruby, the heavy amount you are paying for the ruby, and comparatively the price of the garnet is very less. Very in a few dollars you can purchase per carat, but the ruby is most expensive because you can purchase in some dollars per carat. So this is a big difference, and the hardness is the main thing that you will know. Garnet's hardness is very important to know, that is not more than 6.5 to 7, or some in some cases, some varieties maybe 6 to 6.5 on Mohor scale. And ruby is 9, as I told you, ruby, corundum, and sapphire. These all varieties of one single stone, that is corundum family. And these all stones having 9 hardness. And there is a huge difference in the garnet hardness and ruby. And you can't rub even any gemstone on the ruby. And ruby cannot be scratched any gemstone that you use to scratch the ruby. And as well, if you use the diamond, except diamond, you can use diamond as a scratch test. If you scratch on the ruby, the diamond can easily rub the stone that is a ruby stone. And garnet, ruby can scratch, sapphire can scratch, emerald can scratch, and many stones can scratch. Even aquamarine can scratch this stone. So that means the hardness is very low than the emerald and then the rubies and sapphires. So that is the second difference that I told you. Always keep in mind, if you want to purchase, you need to understand the hardness of the gemstone, any kind of gemstone when you're purchasing. That's very important to get know the hardness of the stone. And the third thing, also very important, that everybody asking about this, that is a very controversial thing, and everybody try to same color. Same color. If, for example, rhodolite garnet you have in your hand and ruby in a side, and maybe some African rubies are a little blackish table, and when you compare with the rhodolite garnet, you can differentiate because its clarity and its color, its hue, very very similar to each other. So in this way, you will be confused and you will be pay maybe for the ruby, but you are getting the garnet that is valueless compared to the ruby. So next thing, if the red garnet also very very confusing. You can say the 99% red garnets very similar to top quality rubies. And top quality rubies, what I'm saying about the ruby that is top quality, because garnet always having the very high clarity, and maximum you can say that the 99% they are clean. If somebody is selling you the 100% clean stone and he's selling in some dollars per carat, that means it's not a ruby, because ruby fetching highest prices after it's clearing. For example, 1 carat piece of ruby in red color and totally even 90% clear, that is very difficult to find that such kind of stones also 90% clarity. If you found 90% clarity in ruby, that means it is not less than $1,000 per carat. And comparative with the red garnet is almost $1, $2 per carat. You can find one single piece. If single piece of 1 carat, that means it is not more than even $1, and you are going to pay a lot of money for the ruby, but you are actually not buying the ruby. So that is a big thing that is necessary to know. So maybe you will understand what I want to say if you know about the color, comparing by your clarity also. If the stone is very clear, very glassy, that means you can always doubtfully see it, observe it doubtfully, because 100% clarity is very less in rubies, sapphires, emeralds, and the diamond is a different thing. A little bit I can talk about the diamond, but I'm talking about this here in this video about the colored gemstones. So colored gemstones always very very similar to ruby. Many stones that are red color. So do not be confused all the time when you are going to purchase your stones, and you always try to get the certificate first. If you are going to such kind of purchasing, you are investing a lot of money and you are buying a good pieces, then you always depend on your lab certificate. And when you get the lab certificate, on the lab certificate, you will find everything about that specific stone that is given to certificate. And maybe the hardness is also you can see written on the certificate, and the color and the size of the same stone, and its species, its family, its name. It's all about the treatment, non-treatment, everything will be written on the certificate you will find. So this way you will be 100% clear that your stone is not anything that you want. So that's very important. And I think you will understand, want to tell you, and your all questions regarding these red color stones, especially I'm talking about the differentiation about garnet stone and the ruby, you will understand very nicely and precisely. And if you purchasing, you keep all things always in your mind, that you do not be confused. So thank you very much being with us, and please subscribe my channel. Also hit the bell icon for appreciation of my all efforts that I make for you all the time, videos, informative videos, especially regarding your questions. So please, also, if you want to purchase any kind of gemstone from our company, you can approach on WhatsApp, already given in the description. So you can get within a week by shipping, and that's very easy process. And we always give you all authentic gemstone that you always required. Thank you very much.